to this exciting Sunday full of LCS action. My name is Clayton Captain Flowers Reigns. I am joined by Mr. Sam Kobe Hartman Kinsler. He may crop me out of his Twitter pictures, but he can't crop me out of the cast. We're going to go ahead, jump right here into the fourth game of the day, and let's get into it with some starting rosters. Selecting the blue side, it's the Evil Geniuses with Kumo in the top lane, Svenskeren in the jungle, Jiizuke at mid with Bang and Zeyzal bottom lane and support, and coaches Irene and Artemis.
And facing them on the red side, it's the Golden Guardians. In the top lane, Hauntzer, jungle, closer, mid Goldenglue, bottom FBI, support Keith, and coaches Anero and Choo-Choo's on stage.
And with Evil Geniuses suffering a loss and Golden Guardians picking up a win, things are heating up in this clash within the soup. The soup has been microwaved.
People are really taking that soup metaphor and just throwing it all over the standings. Meanwhile, I have to say, the soup really is heating up. You're talking about some good performances. Yesterday, one of them for me was Hauntzer, especially for Golden Guardians. He had really good individual plays, fighting his way out of 1v2 scenarios, setting his team up for a lot of advantages. So I am going to have my eyes on the top lane specifically. Kumo there on your screen, going to go against Hauntzer. Meanwhile, talking about the bans early on, my 3 perma bans include Yuumi Ornn. Those are both on there. And Senna, for me, is on this patch, another one of the perma bans. So I expect Golden Guardians on red side to have to be the ones to take that off the board.
We talked earlier this week on This or That about how Ornn pretty much should, or at least it's in my belief that Ornn should occupy Akali's old slot. The champion is just way too strong to be allowed onto Summoner's Rift in the current iteration of the game. Yuumi doing the same type of thing. Beep, beep, I'm a Jeep attached to any champion you want and run everybody over. Not fun if you're on the receiving end of that sort of action. It's Varus and Aatrox banned out. LeBlanc here too. Let's see if Golden Guardians will remove that Senna or if we're going to get to see her here for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, some people have taken the options of other bottom lane focus bans like Xayah if you don't want to play against the Xayah Rakan, but from red side, you don't really have to do that because blue side doesn't get the double lock-in. And it's going to be Zoe instead, one of the best blind pick mids. So they are willing to give up the first pick Senna. Again, I think this is just really, really rough to deal with on this current patch because with the buffs to Senna aimed at making her a stronger in the support role, she is being played basically how the designers intended as a support, just picking up a couple of extra CS. And it makes a lot of sense that if you have even a quote-unquote support champion that is a marksman, you have your marksman player play it. You have your carry player on this champion, and the gold efficiency still is there for your team because the extra CS just gives you a tankier lane mate.
Yeah, you get the tanky lane mate, and the soul generation just feels way too high. The gold value she gets out of trading with opponents constantly and valuing those souls up, stacking them up, it's just incredible. We'll see how that stacks up against a Phelios, who has been at the top of the table here for a while, did receive nerfs on 10.4, so not quite as crazy as he used to be. You can see which 2 guns are always equipped now. The range has been hit in a couple of different departments, and he's got his 3rd summoner spell, Tahm Kench, right there next to him locked in.
Yeah, you can see that was an instant lock from Golden Guardians, the thought process there. They knew they were giving over the Senna very clearly with the Zoe last ban in exchange for Aphelios Tahm Kench. And I have to say, Aphelios, FBI, it's been one of his best champions, if not his very best champion. A lot of the Golden Guardian highlights for their team fights have been him with Aphelios, either with the Infernum or the Crescendum, pulling off some big plays for them. So they're very willing to trade that power due to their players, not just the champions. Meanwhile, if you jump ahead, I actually like the double solo lane lock-in from Evil Geniuses, even though we usually like to see saving for counter picks there, because both of them are very good blind picks. These are at the top of the list of blind picks for both top and mid lane in the Set and Syndra.
I like it because they're blind picks, and I also like it because they're so strong right now. It means that it could solve the issues that we've seen on both of these teams. I believe it's top 4 ISO death players in the league are the solo laners on these 2 teams. It means that's one of the big weaknesses. These guys need to shore up, stop giving away those free kills. And if you're on champions like Sett that are damn near impossible to kill, or champions like Syndra that we know that Jiizuke is able to play very well and able to stay safe if need be, they can fix that a little bit.
Yep, both of these teams, like you're saying, have accrued quite a few deaths with their solo laners trying to split push in these isolated scenarios. So we'll have a battle at the top of the stats chart in this one.
Well, the response to the Syndra there in the mid lane is Orianna. This is one of the most classic matchups of mid lane League of Legends. We've seen these two champions go head-to-head time and time again. And both junglers have yet to be picked. This is so rare, I feel like. Usually the junglers are among those first 3 to be picked up. Let's see how the bans go.
I think it is becoming more common because with the transition of mid lane from, you know, assassins and Akali and stuff like that into a lot more of these control mages, there are more possible blind picks for these solo lanes, and they're trying to grab the strong ones early. For me personally, I always prefer the Syndra over the Orianna because I feel like it gives you more agency. With the Syndra on your level 6, you have this huge amount of threat that you have kill pressure on the Orianna, especially if the Orianna takes teleport instead of something like barrier. Yes, Orianna can make a lot of plays with Shockwave for team plays, but you really have to continue to draft for that. And currently, Golden Guardians do not have a good delivery for a big Shockwave play. You like to see stuff like Jarvan to jump in there. Speaking of junglers that are not banned right now, they actually don't pick up the Jarvan. They show their solo laner first with the Mordekaiser into set, which for me is a meh kind of matchup into the set as far as the counter pick. And they're leaving the jungler for last. I say the jungle spot has to be occupied for Golden Guardians by somebody with a good dash to deliver Shockwave for them, because Mordekaiser's not it.
I really want to see them use this for something special. One of the biggest pain points of draft, whenever I see a draft, I'm like, I don't like that one very much, is when red side uses 5th pick to take something that you could have taken 3 steps ago. I want to keep my eye on this one. It's Lee Sin and Rumble locked in for Evil Geniuses. Lee Sin and Rumble together. So wait a second.
I like it.
Going bottom with Senna.
In LCK a while ago, they were playing the Rumble as a support with Ashe. And in solo queue, Rumble was also, during the Soraka heyday, played with Soraka as support. And the Rumble just gets to charge ahead, slow down people while Soraka heals them. Same thing with the Ashe. Ashe gets to slow him. Can't heal, but it could be a support Rumble. Senna,
it looked like it.
Especially if the Senna takes the Glacial Augment, the through line here, when I'm talking about all these combinations with the champion, is the extra slows for it. And you can actually push ahead. It makes even more sense with the Senna because your lane partner is a semi-carry. They get CS. So I really like this iteration. Just getting more farm onto the Rumble, which is technically going to be a support down on the bottom side, but provides so much power. Plus, one of the biggest power spikes for Rumble is around Dragon, and you're already bottom lane if you're support Rumble. Try and hit that level 6.
And Sejuani, the final lock-in here for the Golden Guardians. They use this opportunity to not have to ban the counter in the Trundle away. They get to pick up Sejuani anyway into a matchup like Lee Sin that she will be able to heavily outscale in terms of teamfight usefulness, aside from a big flash kick play that the Lee might be able to have pull off himself later on.
Yeah, the Sejuani does give you good initiation, right? Does have synergy with the Mordekaiser because Mordekaiser really benefits from extra crowd control, and since they're both melee, they can stack up the stuns. However, there isn't that like Rakan or Jarvan alley-oop with the Orianna ball that we were hoping for. So it just puts more pressure on Goldenglue to have good ball placement. So keep your eye on that Orianna ball placement. And same advice will go to Evil Geniuses. Don't walk on it.
One win currently separating these two squads here in the standings. A win for EG ties them both up at 5 and 7. Golden Guardians, though, would love to put some more distance between themselves and the bottom half of the standings there, since it is all still so very close. Everybody's running off, drawing that line of scrimmage here to start things off. You can see Svenskeren walking into enemy territory, maybe looking to just keep an eye on where closer might be.
Yeah, you always want to try and use your specific matchup to the strengths that you draft right there. And Lee Sin trying to get intelligence early on the path that closer can take can afford you so many options for the early game. Zeyzal's actually going to walk up here, and they're going for a little bit of a delayed invade. Seeing so many of these members, as you can see on the mini-map, if you mark each member, you know there's no danger on this invade. Every member of EG gets to mark their opponent on Golden Guardians, and so they move in for extra information.
Well coordinated there by EG to just take a couple little advantageous trades. You could see Kumo bonking Hauntzer with a couple of punches there, as well as an early soul being picked up by Bang with the poke onto Keith.
All right, so for those of you that skip Champion Select sometimes, taboo. We started.
It's important.
Yeah, we started talking about the Rumble Senna early on. Support Rumble has been played a lot in high elo in solo queue with various matchups, either Ashe or Soraka. But I really do like this version because Senna now being played by these AD carries that are giving up extra farm to their supports just opens up so many cool options to have
For sure.
more carry supports. And Rumble is one of those that just really plays that role well and can provide you a lot of push in the bottom lane, charging at your enemies with your Flame Spitter on. If you land your harpoons, and you also have a Glacial Augment Senna, there are tons of slows in this bottom lane that you use to try and get favorable trades, chasing them off and pushing the minion wave as well. Closer, though, big early move here. Goes Sejuani red buff level 2 game.
Oh, let's see it. There's no sort of escape mechanism here for Kumo. He's caught out, should be beaten down. First blood over to Hauntzer. Well done by Golden Guardians.
It's hilarious, actually, because you never expect the Sejuani level 2 gank. And we were talking about Jarvan in Champion Select, which is, okay, that's a champion that you'd go for that exact play. But Closer is able to catch him off guard because of that. Looking at your mini-map, though, you can very well see that this opportunity has been taken by Svenskeren because of the level 1 invade and because of Sejuani also now showing top. He knows he can stick around and finish the rest of this blue side. He had already taken away the blue buff himself. But Svenskeren basically takes away so many camps here from Closer. So we'll look at the aftermath of what Closer is going to react if they actually got information that Lee Sin did finish off the blue quadrant so that he can remain proactive.
Golden Guardians falling all the way back from the turret here. They know something's up. They don't want to fall victim to an early dive. They'll get themselves back into the brush, should be able to escape. Sonic Wave is going to interrupt those back timers at the start, so the minion wave being cleared out will pave the way for them to walk back down here. They won't go all the way back to base. Jiizuke utilizing the TP to come back to mid lane now will be getting himself a nice trade onto Goldenglue, who is out of mana, but considering Goldenglue still has his own teleport, he can just back and return to the lane at full strength.
So this is what I was talking about. There is a split jungle here. Let me just highlight both top sides for Closer. Lee Sin zoning off bottom side. Golden Guardians have the bottom side weak side of the map, and them opting to continue with this. He actually does not stick around long enough to take much of the extra CS. Maybe he got 2 pieces of the Wolf camp, but you can see Svenskeren is able to reset back to this side and chase him out of getting the Gromp at least. Scuttle Crab acquired though, so it feels quite good at it. And with the new respawn timers for your camp, you don't have to hard commit to that split map as much as you did previously.
Right.
Since the bottom ones will pop right back up anyways. And there's no way you can counter jungle Gromp as it's a single monster camp and you can't leave anything behind to delay the spawn.
Closer stopping through mid lane, clearing out a control ward, moving back into his own top side jungle now. As you can see, Svenskeren is here top lane, seeing if maybe there's an opportunity to do anything. But I don't really see Hauntzer trying to force a play onto a set, even though Mordekaiser is one of the champions that is able to go toe-to-toe with him better than most. You still usually get punched around a bit trying to force trades onto set when they don't just happen to come your way. So nothing going to happen there. Svenskeren gets himself back to base. He'll pick up the challenging smite as well as a longsword, and he'll move into the bottom half of the map now as well. We'll see if either of these junglers can make more happen. Both around the same strength, similar farm. And Hauntzer just keeps farming up in the top side. That early gank did help give him a little bit of a gold boost, but it's not like the lane is just completely washed.
This actually makes me think, have you been impressed by a single Mordekaiser game all year off of reworked Mordekaiser yet? Because I can't really think of one.
Oh, okay, this is gonna sound like Flame, but the one where where Viper ulted the Aphelios and then immediately died in his own death realm, I was impressed by that one in the bad way.
Fair enough.
That one's the one that sticks out the most.
I was looking for a positive, but it also goes to prove my point, so thank you, Mr. Flowers.
Glad I was able to lend a little bit of experience to that one, as it is pretty difficult, I feel like, sometimes to pop up on a champion that has so many limitations.
I feel like the strengths of the champion are maybe more tailored to solo queue, where maybe we'll have this bottom fight, though. We'll take a look at this.
are able to find the route onto Zeyzal, who's in some trouble. Closer making his way now into the fight. It's a 3 versus 2. Evil Geniuses get their bottom lane underneath the turret. They find some good damage onto that enemy jungler and now look to go back in. There comes the root going through. Nice CC follows it up. Keith in danger. Thick Skin could still come out. FBI down to about 200. Both sides with low health bars, and they all walk away.
Yeah, nice usage there by FBI to make sure the Senna Rumble lane doesn't chase you down with those slows. One of the biggest things with this lane with the double slows and the extra snare landing from Senna. Well, never mind.
Well, it's not going to be deathless here for long. Closer goes in, but he bites off more than he can chew. And Zeyzal's the man who's got the kill. He will fall there at the end. Keith making sure it happens and flashing back over the wall. I'm not going to lie, for a second I thought that Flaming Rumble was a super mega death rocket and I got really confused.
A lot of fireworks in our game. After that little exchange, though, it does mean Svenskeren's going to be able to solo the Ocean Drake because they know that Closer died back to base. There's nowhere else it could possibly be. And this is the power of that support Rumble. Just flat damage right there with the Flamethrower. Able to get the counter kill, even though technically the surprise and advantage should have been on Golden Guardians. FBI's at the turret, you see. So really it's a 2v2 if the Aphelios is not there, and pops him out of the Devour there very quickly. Gets burned down in the exchange. Bang. Feels pretty good about that one.
I like the early heal from Bang there too, just to make sure that there was no way they got surprised by some extra burst damage, waiting to use it at the very last possible second. See Kumo and Hauntzer continuing to just farm up here. That Mordekaiser has built a pretty substantial CS lead. About equal minions for both of them to farm, and he's almost 20 ahead, so.
We're calling for it, Flowers. Maybe this is the game.
Is this the game where the Mordekaiser becomes the MVP and he's the one really carrying the game? Well, Goldenglue is going to potentially need some help here. Very low, 200 HP. Nice follow-up coming through from Sejuani. Flash away from the Shockwave. Hauntz has made his way into the fight now, too. Takes Svenskeren into the death realm, but just uses the opportunity to walk away. He knows if he chases after that target, the rest of EG will be following after. Unfortunately, the rest of EG is here anyway, and Jiizuke will be the man cashing in on the 300 gold.
Our Mordekaiser hype was short-lived, but
yeah, we had about 30 seconds of that.
That may be one of the most disappointing death realms that we have seen. I think the crown still goes to your earlier segment on Mordekaiser. What was it?
Aphelios?
Viper? Yeah, Mordekaiser Aphelios just gets soloed. This one, he uses the Mordekaiser ultimate, but then he doesn't walk away, and the rest of the Evil Genius team push them off of that territory. Once again, Svenskeren acquires another objective.
And Bang is up there too to grab both the souls that popped out of Shelly. Apparently Void creatures have more than one soul, so that's easy pick up there for free stats. And speaking of free, Zeyzal will not be picked up so easily here on bottom side as the Golden Guardians try to make the kill happen. Keith goes for the Devour, but he's not able to find enough damage. Thick Skin won't quite do it. And Moonlight Vigil, there's your range nerf on 10.4. It doesn't go all the way down the lane anymore, and Zeyzal lives.
It's actually pretty funny. Every time I see that, and it ends just before it hits someone. It happened yesterday, too. I'm like, good nerf.
Yeah, we're stopping them from shooting us from all the way away now. But that is the outplay there for Evil Geniuses. Golden Guardians just going too far, trying to take down that Rumble, underestimating how tanky it can be to burst into the Scrap Shield. And that means Evil Geniuses find themselves almost 1,000 gold ahead of their opponents. And the money going on to Zeyzal, too. You talked about how the Rumble's strong in these early fights, like around Drake's. Yeah. He could be in real good shape.
So, at the beginning of this replay, I don't know if you quite caught it, but the Equalizer, he just used it to clear the wave over here. So he fights this 2v2 off, calling for the teleport because he doesn't have his Equalizer to try and use and burn them down. So it's critical that Kumo's able to save him there. And as we talked about, he's able to walk out of the newly shortened range of the Aphelios ultimate and live to fight another day. Already haunting guys here on Zeyzal. Looking to get another usage out of the ultimates.
They're going for some plate money. One plate down now. Svenskeren saving the Rift Herald, wanting to use it on some of the later plates for maximum value after the turret has built up those resistances. Remember, Shelly's charge is true damage. The bottom side, it's FBI and Keith that are so much closer to getting rid of a turret on their own. They'll only have a little bit more damage to deal. Surely they'll take it down before their opponents will, Shelly or not. A couple more auto attacks to seal the deal, and that is first turret over to the Golden Guardians. but it will be followed immediately by a response from Evil Geniuses here on the top side. Nothing Hauntzer can do as a pure melee champion to walk up 1v3 and try to defend this one. And with EG taking that down, they'll retain the gold.
Yeah, the new first turret bonus, by the way, is just slightly more than a turret plate. It's 150 gold for local gold for you if you do get the first one. Mid lane, though, we'll have some action, possibly. Svenskeren looking to get some insect plays, maybe. Goldenglue, really good job hovering to the safe side of the map for him, though.
Yep.
Knows that his strong side is on the bottom side. He just saw 4 members of Evil Geniuses on the top half of the map, so does not expose himself for that possible Lee Sin kick.
Jiizuke left to farm here in the mid lane with his opponent teleporting away. Jiizuke still has the TP of his own available for use. We'll see if he just comes back to lane with it as well, as FBI and Keith have made their way back down to bottom lane. It's a 2v1 against Kumo, who will be forced to flash. A nice Abyssal Voyage from Keith forcing that one out.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about what's your strong side and what's your weak side of the map. This is something people talk about all the time for their pro games. After taking that tower, they also left behind 3 wards in this bottom jungle behind the dragon. So Golden Guardians, very good job trying to use their strong side for another little advantage before a dragon fight. A flash off of Set can mean the difference between him getting that perfect ult, you know, taking a Sejuani into your back line and then getting a big multi-stun, or him not being able to find that correct angle to actually get the big AoE.
We could have a big team fight coming out here. Nice ulti from Closer to start it all off. Jiizuke very low, but not quite dead. Closer's the first one to fall, and Zeyzal again racking up that body count. It's Evil Geniuses who win the fight.
Again, Rumble's base value is so good, right? Early on, if you have access to the ultimate, that's pretty much all you need. Big zone there for the team fight. EG fight them off. And they should be able to continue stacking dragons. This looks very good for them, trying to move towards that soul mid game, which is going to be really important in them trying to actually finish it out and not let Golden Guardians get to that later stage of the game.
1 ocean, 1 earth, and the soul this time around will be infernal. Let's take another look at how Golden Guardians almost got this thing.
Yeah, clean side ult there from Closer as he dashes in, but when he used everything to get that close, he actually burns on a little bit of the Rumble ult and then has to flash out. Still gets shot down with the extra range there. And EG also are able to protect Jiizuke.
Yep, Senna ulti, Senna Q, Senna heal, Lee Sin, safeguard, all to protect Jiizuke, make sure he survives. That's actually a lot of protection from this composition on Evil Geniuses to barely get their mid laner out of there. And you can see most of the damage. There it is, 2,500 between the 2 bottom lane players on the side of EG. That's more than the entire enemy team put together. Granted, 2 of them both did 0, but point stands.
And especially this one where you're talking about also the healing and shielding that came out from Senna. This is why in Champ Select we're saying, all right, for me personally, I have it on permaban right now for pro play from red side, but EG making really good use of it and good use of these tools that they've been able to acquire. Just re-emphasizes Captain Flower's mid lane, safety first. You
yes,
protect your mid laner, then you win the fight. And EG have been in complete control of honestly all of the objectives. It's not just the dragon. Remember the Rift Herald they were able to acquire. Tower down on top side.
Closer tried to make a play there, but the ulti's not finding the mark. Rumble ult comes down in a really nice spot, and Zeyzal is just fearless on this champion, barbecuing everybody up nice and crispy. Double kill for Svenskeren, right in time for Shelly to spawn. It is all coming up EG.
When support players get unleashed, Captain Flowers. Zeyzal's breaking all the chains. He's flashing in there on the Rumble. Honestly, this is what you like to see. And why I was kind of excited, even though I do think Senna is a bit too strong right now, I do think it's cool that we get more looks at Fed supports, right? And you can have more carry, literal carry champions in that support role, rather than just Pyke or Senna or something like that, which were designed for it. Now that they get CS, you get big plays like that, and he's already completed the Leandries. One of Rumble's favorite items because you make really good use of the slow burn because it gets magnified, and a lot of these damage over time from the long range.
And one thing that I think also deserves to be talked about, because it's not looked at as important as, you know, being able to share farm or having this global ulti or all the soul collection on Senna, Umbral Glaive, as the first item this champion builds, provides a ton of extra vision control just by allowing you to wipe out the wards. Look at his vision score of 37, the highest in the game right now. The closest is his quote-unquote counterpart in the enemy support of Keith, who's 30 compared to that now 45 on Bang. That's so much vision control.
And he's got 61 souls already at 16 and a half minutes, basically. Remember in the last game we saw the similar Senna? It was at 60 at 20 minutes almost. So very good clip here for Bang and Evil Geniuses. Mid tower going down means they get to move in their nice ward line. You mentioned the Umbral Glaive. They're also dropping all these control wards. Take again another look at the mini map here. Both sides actually, they're moving in, getting a vision, leading up to the objectives, and cutting off pathways for a Keith.
Oh no, Keith, he has to flash away to keep himself alive. He will live to see another day, but not having that summoner spell has both defensive and offensive implications here for the Golden Guardians in the next team fight. It is 1 minute and 14 seconds until that third Drake spawns. That will bring EG to Soul Point if they can collect on it. We'll see how they want to play around that.
Coming up, we are also going to have Hooney from Dignitas on the State Farm analyst desk to go over it.
Ooh, nice damage there onto Goldenglue. Keith is nearby with the Devour to keep him safe. No summoner spells have to be used there.
And thankfully for Golden Guardians, there is enough time to reset before the Dragon. The Soul Point Dragon here is very important, and they are at least hitting their single item power spikes. So even though they're behind right now, they do have options of trying to get into position to fight it. They've got some good ults to work off of. They have the combination there with Sejuani engaged and allowing the Aphelios Orianna follow-up. That being said, their groundwork needs to be perfect because there's so many pathways that EG can cut off. When you have Syndra stun and you have Rumble ultimate and a possible flanking set due to the deep wards and the teleport being available for Kumo, there are just so many things you have to worry about in the setup for this team fight that Golden Guardians are going to have to play perfectly right now.
I misspoke a little bit as well. The almost kill on Goldenglue did cost the heal from Keith, so both summoner spells down on this support from Golden Guardians. That is less saving power, that is less get out of jail free if they do misstep even a little bit. Wards being placed down in the pit now. Both top laners having the TP ready to join the fight. Kumo finally getting that Trinity Force completed 19 minutes into the game. It took a long while, but he's there. Keith now caught out. Remember, no summoner spells equals no way home, and Evil Geniuses will get themselves to that Soul Point.
Yeah, I mean, we put so much effort into, their setup has to be perfect for this Dragon fight if they want to contest it. They got to clear all the wards. They got to get their vision down. Everyone has to be in place, and boom, they're dead. All right.
You got to be alive for any of that to happen.
All right, really good job by EG, though. The timing here is definitely working out. They should be able to get their soul for this game since they have such a big advantage for the possible team fight. That was not really a fair fight between supports. First of all, it was 2v1, but also because it's
that
a flame.
Look like support v support to me.
It's the flame horizon because of the Senna and what that does for you. So Zeyzal here really showing that he deserves these types of champions when you get paired with the fasting Senna, as it's being called.
And Evil Geniuses still 2,500 gold ahead. One Drake away from that soul, ever so importantly. Only 2-1 lead on turrets, so they don't have the most map control from what you might expect, seeing the way these fights are being played, seeing all the tools that they have at their disposal. I think that's what I'd like to see more of from this squad as they try to end this game in a timely and effective manner, is utilize all those, set up, take some of these turrets. There's still a tier 1 standing in the bottom lane, still tier 2s all across the rift.
Gonna be very difficult. They're waiting for a brush surprise party. And honestly, they're already at the stage of the game where they have to look at these kind of low percentage options, right? Because their team comp doesn't have a lot of extra options. You can throw the Hail Mary and say, yo, Mordekaiser, like hard split push, okay? Hauntzer,
Just
you
get over there.
Be a highlight Mordekaiser play. Make them remember this pick because Mordekaiser does have lots of good 1v1 options at this point and can stall out if you throw someone to go gank him. Everyone always points out you can just ult the lower health member that's coming to gank you. Oftentimes you just ult the jungler, try and get your 1v1 and then pop out. So that is one possible thing that they can try and throw for their recovery here. And other than that, though, they have a lot of very standard tools that aren't going to give you a lot of surprise. And it seems to be methodical here from Evil Geniuses. They've moved all their vision over to the barren area of the map, as you can see, completely cutting off that area. Meanwhile, down bottom side,
the collapse is coming in. Hauntzer is not going to get a very fair fight here on this one. He will go into the death round with Zeyzal and just beat the tar out of him with that mace. He'll make it a 1-for-1. Surely he falls on the back end of it, but he does manage to take somebody with him.
yeah, he plays to the Mordekaiser's strength. Right before, talking about, all right, ult the lowest health member that you can possibly kill who comes to gank you, target Zeyzal there, even though it's a fed support rumble. It's still a rumble without a Zhonya's, can't buy the extra time, so Hauntzer does the best he can in that scenario, and it still results in Evil Geniuses also getting a kill, also taking a tower, and the rest of Golden Guardians don't really have an option on the other side of the map. Because they're so weak, they can't really do anything with the time that Hauntzer bought.
And you can tell, well, let's just go ahead and watch the fight here again real quick as Hauntzer gets collapsed.
Yep, good ultimate here from Kumo, ults him back, then backs off. Zeyzal first in there, in melee range. Hauntzer does a really good job using that shield, popping it for the heal back up, following with the flash to make sure he can get the auto kill before he pops out of the death realm. He just barely gets it in time and does trade flashes with Zeyzal.
And then Nashor's Tooth that he went for second means he hits so hard and so fast, and Zeyzal is just so dead. He's got to be. The CC comes in, the damage follows it up, tongue over the wall from Keith, and Closer's the man to secure the kill.
Golden Guardians doing, again, the best with what they have here. No flash after that flash trade between Zeyzal and Hauntzer, and they immediately attack it. Definitely good for this team to remain focused.
Oh, the fun of playing against Syndra as an immobile champion. Sometimes the emote is the best thing you can give him. He blocks the ulti up there. Jiizuke using that one to just poke him down a bit. Minions will follow him. A TP goes through. The claw once again will not find the mark. Hauntzer takes him into the death realm, looking for a little bit more damage. He blocks it away, and the Nashor's Tooth. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
He's making a good case, Flowers. You gonna remember this Mordekaiser game?
I mean, if I'm a pure melee champion and my ranged opponent flashes within 2 feet of me, I'll probably kill them too. But all right, he's having a couple good moments.
Here's where I stand. I say give Hauntzer credit for taunting with the dance earlier. He infuriated Jiizuke.
Okay. That's how you get him to flash within 2 feet of you. The real mind games.
League of Legends is honestly mostly a mental game.
Yeah.
Get inside your opponent's head. Teleport was also used there, you know, cutting him off, so force him over in that direction. And here we are at the critical dragon fight. This one's for Soul Denial.
Golden Guardians really want to make sure they keep that Infernal Soul away from their opponents. It provides so much extra damage in these team fights, so much extra burst potential. Evil Genius is waiting for their mid laner to come back. They don't want to take a bad fight, but they love to secure this. They can't get it, and that is first Drake for Golden Guardians this game, and they buy themselves another 5 minutes.
This is looking better and better for the Golden Guardians. That's like 3 or 4 consecutive good plays from the Golden Guardians fighting back in this game. And like you say, every time you deny this soul point is going to be a critical deny for them. So very well done to try and extend it. EG now have to get a lot more worried about their setup because they can still work off of the wards they have behind Baron, but Hauntzer is becoming more and more of a problem for them in the side lane. He keeps getting these kills before going down, and his CS continues to grow.
He's 1,600 gold ahead of his lane opponent. Kumo has one fully completed item and then pieces of others. He has the Jarm's Fist to build into Serix. He has the stopwatch that can eventually build into a stone plate, but since they don't work towards the same thing, he's further away from a power spike of a second completed item, but we've already seen what Hauntzer can do with the Nashor's Tooth. Hauntzer, with that 35 CS lead that he builds up by being the man who always has priority in that split push situation, will then also be the man who can rotate away faster to those team fights. You can see Bang Senna now having the Dust Blade as well as the Umbral Glaive double lethality items locked and loaded, ready to go. And we'll see if Golden Guardians can find themselves any more picks or if EG will go back to controlling the game as they did early on. That was An ult to check Baron coming out from Bang, so no Dawning Shadow here for the next couple minutes.
Meanwhile, they are sending Syndra up to the top side there, and since Jiizuke has no teleport, they do have to watch out for the hard engage from Golden Guardians. Closer's looking for it here over the wall. Nice little scouting Sonic Wave here from the Blind Monk. Svenskeren's able to suss out the possible engage and allow his split pushers to get a little bit further. One more wave pushed. Now both of them can collapse. As you're looking at the mini-map, it was just a quick one wave push, collapse down now through the river, and all 5 members are looking towards FBI and the rest of Golden Guardians.
Golden Guardians are only 1,500 gold behind. At 27 minutes, that's really not the end of the world. That's very much overcomable if you are
Comebackable,
outplayable,
I like
however you want to use this verbiage.
big ass words.
Probably none of which are even real, but hey, we're going to use them anyway. The Golden Guardians have outplay potential. Let's put it that way. I'm pretty sure every single thing in that sentence is in the dictionary, but it's still up to EG to try to find these team fights like they were finding earlier. Use that Rumble effectively. Zeyzal's gone from 3-1 to 3-3. He's been picked off twice, hasn't found what he's looking for, really. As we'll see, Closer look to make a play potentially here in the mid lane. Doesn't want to use the ulti there onto Svenskeren. He knows Lee Sin has the tools to get away. And when you don't have the ulti, it's not just the fact that you didn't get the kill, it's the fact that now your opponents don't have to play around the threat anymore.
Peep these guns as well.
Peep these guns, okay.
FBI.
I'm peeping.
He's got the Infernum and the Crescendum Flowers.
That's team fighting right there.
That's plenty of damage outputs. You got the AoE, plus you have the switch for if they get close. So respect being paid here by EG to the possibilities. Vision game also improving for Golden Guardians as they invest a lot of their resources around the Baron. They know they have a full minute and a half here before Infernal Drake does arrive, so keeping track of a possible EG Baron force. I'm just trying to buy continued time. Some key items do come in for both sides in the meantime. I really like the way that these change how you can actually pull out either a split push or a team fight. With the Zhonya's on Mordekaiser, not only do you go for the 1v1 ulting the easiest kill that comes to get you, but you buy even more time afterwards with the Zhonyas. Same thing can be said for Set, though, on the side of EG. Once you get Stoneplate, Set has no fear, jumping right in to try and get that really good AoE and Haymaker, because still going to do true damage itself. But we are about to hit the critical point. 35 seconds left on Infernal Dragon, and here come the teleports.
The Drake comes a-knocking once more. EG would love to get that soul. We'll see if Golden Guardians can defend here yet again. Equalizer goes down, finding its way onto Keith and FBI. Svenskeren's looking to get a kick, but a nice deny. A good devour coming through from Keith. Svenskeren is rooted up. He's going to be taken very low, but FBI is taken down. Kumo's got the kill on that one, and Zeyzal grabs a kill into Keith. Hauntzer is still trying to get some sort of a kill on someone in the back line, but he's just not able to do it here yet. Goldenglue nearly killed. Hauntzer buying time with the stasis. Shutdown credit over to Bang, and Evil Geniuses just annihilate the Golden Guardians.
Incredible focus from EG. From moment one of this team fight, they go step by step. Everybody focusing the Aphelios. Even with a Tahm Kench and Flash up, they burn through all of his defensives, and then Kumo gets the great flank on Set. Amazing team fight from him specifically. This young guy on EG, we had our eyes on the top lane, Flowers, how important it was going to be. He comes up critical in one of the big team fights where the game was very losable for them. You know, it could have slipped back into Golden Guardians' favor if they had defended another soul point. If they had won that fight, they would be the ones picking up Baron and Dragon right now. But because this is so good, so accurate, keep your eyes on FBI. Ultimate from Rumble, then the engage from Svenskeren forces Devour. After Devour, Kumo is able to ult Keith over there and flash his Haymaker in to finish off FBI. Then they come through, he collapses on Hauntzer. Look at the second Haymaker. He gets this one straight through Hauntzer onto Goldenglue, who flashes in there, so he's chunked out as well. And Bane finishes him over that wall. No member of EG going down in the fight at all. It was just such good coordination and team fight focus that is something we have not seen in all of Evil Genius's games. very good improvement from these players. As you can tell, the split going on and on, it really being a big point of improvement.
And with Infernal Soul and Baron both picked up, I'd say that's about as big of a team fight reward as you could possibly have in League of Legends. We'll see if they can finish the game with this push. Baron's still active here for just under 2 more minutes. They're pushing 2 different lanes at once, bottom and mid, both under pressure. Hauntzer at about half HP, Kumo leading the charge, enchanting the minions. Bang right behind him just to make sure Golden Guardians doesn't try anything tricky. Zeyzal is keeping mid lane buffed up as well. With Rumble, you can easily help the fight in bottom side with your equalizer if Golden Guardians tries to collapse as you rotate over. And they'll keep that pressure alive. Golden Guardians heavily on the defense for the next 90 seconds.
Yeah, you can say that again. Super heavy defense. They are overburdened with defense right now, Flowers. We mentioned the last 3 minutes. As soon as we saw that teamfight victory, you're like, okay, this one just went from pretty close to the line of scrimmage to overwhelming EG advantage. And here they go, Baron buff on, Infernal Dragon explosions aplenty.
Equalizer comes down and takes the front line of the Golden Guardians down to about half HP. Dawning Shadow doesn't do a lot of anything. And they aren't able to actually break either of the inhibitor turrets yet. For Golden Guardians, I'd say you'd call that a win.
For sure. Talking about the heavy defense, they were able to withstand for now. I think EG should keep up the pressure. Don't relent on this. Keep pushing the waves. They've actually split into all 3 lanes. They only have 30 seconds left on the Baron, so it looks like they have made the call just to get the outer turret and not force on the inhibitor turrets.
It is free gold. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, they're a little bit worried about losing that team fight. The last team fight, forcing under tower. They can slowly try and whittle away, but Baron will time out in 10 more seconds, and Golden Guardians can continue to wave clear.
Bottom lane turret will fall critically right before the Baron buff dissipates, and that means that if Evil Geniuses want to force a fight, oh my goodness! Well, bye, Aphelios.
Syndra gets the outplay there.
It is kind of nice to see Aphelios get 200 years.
Syndra, the original Unleashed power.
Ah, yes!
Able to get the ultimate down in time so he can trade. That's a worthy sacrifice there, Jiizuke. Well done.
Yeah,
they got inside the base, so now there are multiple exposed inhibitors and 1 down, of course, on the top side. Golden Guardians, they still have something to work with, but it has become so difficult now with the extra soul. That's not going to go away. Here's another look at how they flanked Jiizuke. He's in a 3v1, so pop down your Qs and unleash the R.
WQR, 100-0 through a Maw of Malmortius. He just has too much damage with Rabadon's Ludens and a Void Staff all working together. Maw of Malmortius, it's nice to have that little shield, but against all that, I don't think so. Evil Geniuses, as you already stated, they don't even have to worry about the turrets anymore. They can force a fight. The enemy base might as well be open ground on those inhibs. Baron, alive in just under 2 minutes. Elder Drake, about 1.5 minutes. I think if you're Golden Guardians, that Elder Drake is kind of your last-ditch hope. You somehow try to steal it, then go for a team fight that you win thanks to the power of the Dragon Lasers, and that's about it. It's almost 9,000 gold separating the teams. It's getting pretty bleak here as Evil Geniuses continue looking to push up. Shockwave won't find anybody thanks to the stasis, and here comes Kumo slamming him back into the rest of the team. Evil Geniuses continuing to push forward. Equalizer laid down, but won't get a whole lot of profit from that one. Honestly, a lot spent there from both sides for not a lot of gain.
Yeah, I'd say in the end, Golden Guardian's pretty happy with it, being able to save FBI from the flank from Kumo. Summoner spells, only the flash was used from Kumo for EG for that. So everybody is saving their resources for the Elder Dragon fight. Like you're talking about, Flowers, Golden Guardians, if you don't believe in dragons, you better start believing right now.
Yup.
Because that is the way. And he's caught.
Well, Hauntzer's now stuck in a 1v5, but he'll turn it into a 1v1 against Zeyzal here yet again. Zeyzal is just being picked on by these guys. Feels bad, but Hauntzer buying the time there with the Zonias. He's able to be gobbled up and saved by Keith, and the Golden Guardians may have turned this around at the most critical of moments. Hauntzer, again, taking advantage of the fact that he can ult this Rumble.
Remember that Mordekaiser, Captain Flowers. Hauntzer does it again. You think you've caught him, he buys time. Can't talk about this enough for the champion. It's the greatest strength, split pushing there. He gets the solo kill. And the best part for them is that Zeyzal's also there for the Devour afterwards. Hauntzer flashes away, still grabs him up in the tummy, makes sure he doesn't die, setting up for this Elder Dragon. 15 seconds left on Zeyzal, who does have teleport.
If they want to go, they got to go now. You cannot afford to have Rumble TP in and equalize your entire team. This will very likely determine the game here for the Golden Guardians. If this gets stolen, it's all she wrote. But they're on to the Elder Dragon. TP coming in now. Hauntzer once again utilizing the Death Realm. Svenskeren is stuck inside. There's no opportunity for the jungler to make a steal with a smite. The Elder Drake's going to be secured by Closer, but where's the fight going to go from here? FBI escaping over the wall. It's Golden Guardians trying to get away, trying to get back home. FBI attacking the Krugs to heal back up. He's going to use his own teleport to escape. Goldenglue completes his back. Everybody else is going to back successfully. Hauntzer trades his life for an Elder Drake, but now evil geniuses make their way onto the Baron.
We're in the end game now, baby. Elder Dragon taken by Golden Guardians. What a heist by them. Really well played to get that objective. So critical in their survival in this game. Evil geniuses will take the Baron afterwards, but with the Elder Dragon for a minute and 45 seconds, that is combat power that you do not trifle with.
No.
Getting that execute is so critical for the Golden Guardians, and Hauntzer will be back up in time for defense here. So they can whittle off a lot of the time of Baron. The Baron picked up afterwards is going to last much longer, of course, for Golden Guardians are well. But once again, Mordekaiser ultimate on the enemy jungler takes him into the Death Realm, so there's no chance at Svenskeren stealing it. That allows Golden Guardians to make this call. Hey, we got to burn this dragon down. Hauntzer sacrificed himself and his ultimate to make sure that the team can make the team play. They do get the objective, and they get out the back as well, so that they can actually still wear that buff. And this one is a closey.
Evil geniuses want to avoid this last minute of Elder, and then they'll have a little over 1 minute of Baron to try to make some sort of a move with. Golden Guardians would love to force a fight on them if given the opportunity. Maybe a nice Sejuani ulti while that Elder is still available. We'll see if Closer looks for it. The mid lane tier 1 turret still standing. Golden Guardians trying to play this one safely. FBI, no flash here on the Aphelios. There's no stopwatch. There's no GA. We've already talked about how the Maw is not enough. His positioning needs to be precise to avoid getting instantly killed here in these fights. We'll get stunned up there by the Senna. Another turret placed down, and the Golden Guardians will continue to push. Tier 1 turret surely falls here. No problem.
And their eyes have got to be on this Syndra. I mean, this is a late game split pushing Syndra in the side lane here with no teleport. Jiizuke is going to be able to just Baron empowered recall out, and the Golden Guardians do push down finally that mid lane outer turret, but there's a ward that has spotted them in this brush, so no surprise play will follow up.
Elder Drake is gone. The pendulum has swung back to the side of the evil geniuses, and they are once again on the aggressive. They're 7,000 gold ahead. They've got 45 seconds to utilize this Baron push and try to smash these inhibitors of Golden Guardians, keep them in their base for the rest of this game. But GG are at a spot where they look to hold here at the gate of the base. Everyone's ready to go.
Two things to keep your eyes on for this last team fight here. The ball for Orianna. Goldenglue trying to place this Orianna ball back behind Jiizuke and Bang. It's going to be difficult because they both have flashes. The other thing to keep your eye on is FBI. You mentioned it, Captain Flowers. He's got no escapes besides Tom Kench.
Mid lane inhibitor is just being beaten down, already at 1/3 HP. EG may be able to grab this one for free. Goldenglue still hanging out there in the top side. Jiizuke also still in top lane. Closer making the initiation. Moonlight Vigil not going to be finding anyone. Dawning Shadow shoots off but won't find much either. Jiizuke finds the top lane inhib. That's one objective down. Mid lane inhib being retreated from by Golden Guardians. That's 2 inhibs down. Baron will expire. No extra power from that anymore. But Evil Geniuses are 1 inhib away from pretty much damning Golden Guardians to this base for the rest of the game. Golden Guardians, do you make your stand here? It looks like the call is yes.
They have to hard force with a Sejuani ultimate. That is their only way to pin down Evil Geniuses.
Shockwave finds Zeyzal, takes him below half, but Goldenglue instantly going to be half HP now as well. Super Soaker fired off, Equalizer goes down. Goldenglue stunned up, gobbled away by Keith. Damage down into Kumo, who's able to find the Haymaker into the back line. Goldenglue retreating all the way back into the fountain. Hauntzer's got the ulti down onto Jiizuke. Still looking to bring down that hammer, but he's stunned back against the wall and has to retreat. The Claw won't find much. Stasis gonna buy a little bit more time. Evil Geniuses have some critically low health bars, but FBI cannot find the killing blows.
FBI, get out of my base! Buddy's shouting now, and he does it, but at the cost of all 3 inhibitors. I do like to see teams in Evil Genius's position like this, using range and time to their advantage. They make sure that they get the triple inhibs. Now, triple inhibs has a multiplying effect. You'll have all these super minions, you see them on your map right now, doubled up for all 3 lanes. When you get all 3 inhibitors down like that, this is the reason it's so rare you see teams come back from triple inhibs. So now it's up to EG to use that extra power to set up their Elder Dragon. Time is in your favor because you just took all the inhibitors. Your super minions will do work for you for the entire duration. They don't have to force on the Elder Dragon. They just have to sit there and wait for the Golden Guardians to sweat.
Dance around it, let the minions do their thing, and when your opponents just can't make that decision, that's when you strike. Both Uber buffs less than a minute away from spawning. A truly dire situation for the Golden Guardians, who will try to push out these waves as much as humanly possible. You almost think they're going to have to force this on Elder Drake here nice and early again. They cannot afford to wait around and allow EG to be the ones who decide to pace and disengage. Keith finds one lick onto a target. Closer looking to find the CC down on a bang, but now it's going to be Kumo mounting the counterattack. Keith taken very low. Has to gobble up FBI, who flashes away, but he's going to be 200 HP. Into the back line, continues the Evil Geniuses. Shockwave's not going to find a lot. Svenskeren kills off Goldenglue. It's a 2 for 0 here so far, and with FBI down, that is surely the game. Golden Guardians, they put up a valiant fight. They fall in the final skirmish there, and with the inhibitors already gone, it's all over but the victory march.
Yep, that's going to be a GG for EG versus GG. Captain
That was clean.
F.
I like that. That was clean until the very end. Either way, that's the Nexus exploding there. Evil Geniuses take down the Golden Guardians and tie them up in the standings.
Again, counting some things here as we move further and further into the split. I thought specifically the second soul denial fight that Evil Geniuses took. Kumo, really good flank. Also very good coordination from this team. You can tell their target selection. They talked about beforehand. Aphelios, with or without flashes. Tom Kench's position. They continue to force out these defensives and take down the priority target. So well-deserved win here for EG, and good moments of a counterattack from the Golden Guardians, honestly. Yep. So both teams really shaping up here as we have already passed the half